29 Sports presents Peninsula District Basketball from Phoebus High School. The Hampton Crabbers and the Phoebus Phantoms. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz, and we are here for the girls' game tonight between the Phoebus Phantoms and the Hampton Crabbers. Just a moment ago, we had a presentation, Bob. Can you tell us about it?
Sure. This was Terry Williams. The young lady's a senior for the Phoebus Phantoms. She scored went over the 1,000-point margin Thursday night when they played Warwick. And Warwick was one of the top competitors that the Phantoms this year. The Phantoms are in #1 place, and the Warwick's got a real fine team, and they went up there and just really blew them out at Warwick, which was very good. But the young lady went over 1,000 points, which is unbelievable that you got young ladies that can score that many points in their high school career, and she still has quite a few games to go plus the tournament, Tim. So they have a lot to be proud of in that young lady.
We're going to have the starting lineups now for both of the teams. First announced starter for the Hampton Crabbers is Tracy Phoebus, number 30. And I'm sorry, Bob, I didn't pick up the names, and without taking their jerseys off, we can't figure out who the numbers are. So bear with us if you will. The Hampton Crabbers.
That was Nikki Reed that's out there.
Reed. This is Cheyenne Hill, number 34 for the Crabbers, being introduced.
This is Twiz Jenkins.
Number 10, Jocelyn Milligan is being introduced for the Hampton Crabbers. There you see her on the screen.
And this is number 23, Terry Williams, young lady, just was presented a ball by the principal, Clayton Washington.
For the Hampton Crabbers, number 13, Sylvia Shepard being introduced. She had a real fine night with 12 points in last night's game. We'll give you those scores in just a moment.
And number 24 is the center for the Phantoms, Denise Phillips.
The last of the Crabber starters, Crystal Joyner, number 35, being introduced.
And number 21, Cassandra Brown, is the last starter that was introduced for the Phoebus Phantoms, the home team tonight.
You did so well with that, Bob. I'll go ahead and do the Hampton coaches. You can do the Phoebus coaches.
Oh, I'll be glad to.
The Hampton coach is Ivy Knight, and she is assisted by Art Jones, a former Hampton Crabber standout on the boys team.
Yes, he is. And for the Phoebus Phantoms, veteran Mike Talon is the head coach, and he's assisted by LaVon Walker, Morrow, and Aubrey Perry. So he's got 2 assistants. But I've talked with both coaches tonight, Tim, and they both complain about not having a feeder program in the Hampton school system. They don't have a JV program. So Mike Talon has a group of about 9 ninth graders that he has that are kind of working together, but they don't play any games. And of course, it hurts the program if you don't have a feeder program in your school system. So this is one of the things that the coaches, especially the girl coaches, are hoping to have in the future.
This is the first of 2 games tonight, the Hampton Crabbers girls and the Phoebus girls first of all, and then after this game, immediately following this game, will be the boys game between the Crabbers and the Phantoms. It's been a pleasure to join you again. We haven't been back here on Channel 29 since the championship game between the Hampton Crabbers and
Salem.
And, I almost forgot. And it's a pleasure to be back here. This is the first of two separate games we'll be doing. We'll have another game later on in February, and we'll get back to that a little later on. We're about set to go with the tip for tonight's ball game. Cassandra Brown, Casey Brown, number 21, jumping for Phoebus, and she jumped against Cheyenne Hill, number 34 of Hampton, is controlled by the Phantoms in the home white, trimmed in blue and gold. Phoebus girls team having a great season so far. They're 10-0 in the league and 11-2 overall. From outside, off the rim, no good. And the Crabbers will bring the ball down as Crystal Joyner gets the first rebound of the ball game.
The Hampton team was in a zone as Phoebus is starting out in the zone. Now Phoebus will do a lot of pressure, man. He'll change a lot of the defenses, and they will run the ball down. They will move the ball up and down the court real quick.
We've got our first whistle of the ball game. A moment ago, we saw an air ball thrown up by Crystal Joyner. And we've got a blocking foul on the Crabbers. That is going to be charged to number 34, Cheyenne Hill. So the first team foul, first on Hill, a ball control foul.
Hampton is back in a 2-3 zone. And what they'll do, the Phoebus team will do, is try to overload and get more offensive men on one side than the other and try to get an open shot by passing the ball.
Phoebus very deliberate at this point. Quick reminder, they play 8-minute quarters. And first score of the ball game on an inside move, I believe that was Denise Phillips, number 24, scoring.
21 scored that time, Tim. I'm sorry to
check that.
overset you.
No, I was hoping, you're right, because I wasn't sure exactly who it was.
Yeah, it was a young lady with the headband on, and Chet's number 21. That's why I picked it up.
Shot from the corner is good. Sylvia Shepard gets 2 for the Crabbers, so we're tied at 2 with 6.5 minutes.
They come out in a press, Tim. They're trying to put some pressure on the Phoebus team.
Phoebus does a good job of breaking the press. From 14, it's off the front of the rim. Chased down and knocked out of bounds. Last touched by the Phoebus Phantoms. So they'll award the ball to the Crabbers. And we've got a timeout being called by the Phantoms.
Mike is kind of upset, and this is one thing I was talking to him about. I remember when I was coaching over at Bethel High School, one of the things that was really bad that the boys do when they got the ball, the first thing they did was dribble it. And I asked him if I said, do you have that problem with the girls? He says, no, the trouble I have is they will catch it and hold it and let the zone shift. They won't pass the ball quick. But it's the same thing as the dribble, except they're just holding the ball. And I'm sure that's what Mike is telling them. You got to move the ball a little quicker so you can hit the open man and get a good percentage shot.
Did we get a chance to get the names of the officials for tonight's game?
No, I didn't get those.
We'll get that before the game is over.
Yeah, before the game's over,
we'll get the Zebras get their credit.
Yes, absolutely.
A thankless job, to say the least. We've talked about that before. I started to say, I just want to remind the folks that, of course, high school basketball is a little different from college and the pros. They play 8-minute quarters, 4 8-minute quarters. And we're tied at 2 with 6:16 to go here in the first quarter between the Phantoms of Phoebus, 11-2 overall, and the Hampton Crabbers, 1-12 overall. So the Crabbers program is really struggling this year under the helm of Ivy Knight.
Well, I talked with Ivy Thursday over at the Hampton High School, and she lost 4 players to academics because of grades, and that hurts you when you only have 8.
So the Crabber girls are playing with just a roster of 8 this evening. Get the ball inside, put up off the rim, and it comes off in the hands of the Phoebus Phantoms. Quickly down court, 2-on-1. Back to the trailer, and she is fouled, as the foul will be charged to number 13, Sylvia Shepard of Hampton.
I don't know if you noticed that time, Tim, but the Phoebus girls come out in a very aggressive man-to-man defense, and I know what Mike is trying to do. He said all year that this team has not played as a team and up to their potential, and yet they're 10-0, they're undefeated. But he says they're not as aggressive as they should be. If they played all the time up to their potential, he said nobody would touch them. He said they've got that much talent on the floor out there. So we can look for them to do a little more pressure defense to try to get a little more enthusiasm within his team. Looks like we got a contact or something that was knocked out, Tim.
Phoebus has the 5th leading scorer in the league with Terry Williams, the young lady who was awarded a game ball at the beginning of the game for her 1,000-point contribution to this point in the season. And they also have the number 8 scorer in the league in the form of Miss Brown. That would be Casey Brown. Williams comes in scoring an average of 17.1 per game, and Casey Brown 12.3 for the Phantoms. With a 1-12 record, you might not be surprised to hear that the Crabbers don't have anyone in the top 12 or 13 scorers in the girls' teams.
But Ivy is very optimistic about next year. She says she's got some good nucleus of players coming back, and she feels like she'll be much stronger next year. But what's really hurting her is she not only has some seniors on the team, Tim, but they're first-year players. And you get a senior first-year player, that really hurts you because you've missed that gal for a couple of years that you could have been developing some sort of some depth on your squad. So,
well, you have to imagine that somewhere down the line, Bob, they'll have girl JV games, as we had a JV game prior to this game, which I might add, the Phoebus JV team defeated narrowly the Hampton Crabbers, I think by a point or two, in a real struggle. And I was commenting, the JV team, the boys team, at least have some real tall, talented-looking boys.
Well,
There's a couple
really
of real good ball handlers, so both of the JV teams for Hampton and Phoebus will be contributing, I'm sure. No good on the free throw. We've got a foul. And this is going to be charged against the Crabbers. Tracy Phoebus, number 1 on her for this evening. Inbounds pass. We're tied at 2. From about 18 feet, it's off the heel of the rim. Battle for, and it comes into the hands of the Phantoms. Can't get that lid off the basket, and the Crabbers will break it out. Jocelyn Milligan out at the half-court line calls the play. She's guarded by Yolanda Keeler. Knocked loose inside and finally controlled by the Phantoms. Denise Phillips up the floor quickly. On the baseline, no good, and we've got a foul inside. This one will be charged to number 24, Phillips. Denise Phillips of Phoebus.
She's the one who missed a foul, missed a shot, went after her own rebound and committed the foul. One of the things that plagues coaches is you have a tendency sometimes to play as your opponents do. Here we got a number 1 team playing the last place team, and one thing that they really worry about is maybe they'll play like they won't play it all close to their potential.
Sometimes it's harder to get up for that kind of game than it is any other. Batted around, controlled by the girl, by Hampton. And we're going to have a 5-second violation, or are we going to have a foul? Well, one official ruled one, and another official called a foul. So we'll wait and see. And the official calling the foul will be against Casey Brown. So that was at least 5 seconds of non-movement of the ball there. I thought they were most generous in that.
I do too. Well, the one official did call the 5-second call. They just kind of look out of sync. I saw the Phoebus girls play early this year, and they play with a whole lot more confidence than I've seen them out there right now. And I know Mike Talon is getting upset. I just heard him hit the bench over there a minute ago. And it's just because the team is playing sloppily.
Baseline move, it's good. Basket by Darlene Moore. And the foul, a second foul called on Denise Phillips. So that's 2 on Denise Phillips for Phoebus. And the basket by Darlene Moore was good, and we've got the Crabbers 1-12 overall, leading 4-2.
I look for Mike Talon to come out with one of his full court presses pretty soon. Try to get some easy baskets.
Free throw attempt, no good, and the Phantoms will bring it up, trailing by 2. Phantoms victors Friday night. They defeated the Lafayette girls team 60-43. On the baseline, Casey Brown gives it back outside to Twiz Jenkins. Phoebus looking for the open girl. Little strong off the board, inside, good position. The ball put up and in by Kathy Fitzgerald.
And sure enough, they're coming out in a full court press. It's a deny type, not even let them get the ball in. And he told me that it's a 1-2-1-1 press where you deny everything, and that's what they did. They got a 5-second count that time, Tim.
Now that was about a 3-second 5-second call. Where the other was a 7-second 5-second call.
That's what you add them together. You got 2 5-second calls, right, Ted?
Exactly. We've got another timeout being called.
The Hampton girls called the timeout. They want to do something to explain these girls what they're supposed to do to break that press.
3:37 left here in the first quarter. We're tied at 4. Just to complete the scoring last night, Friday night, as I mentioned, the Phoebus girls defeated Lafayette 60-43. They were led by Cassandra Brown with 17 points. Nikki Reed had 16. Terry Williams with 14 points. The Hampton girls team lost to the Bethel Bruins 43-22 Friday night. And Hampton was led by Sylvia Shepard, who had 12. Tracy Phoebus had 7. And Darlene Moore ended the evening with 6 points.
Both of these teams, Tim, have played 3 games. This is the 3rd game in a row. They played Thursday night, Friday night, and again tonight. And that's very unusual because usually in high school they play on Tuesdays and Fridays, but since Hampton High won the state champion football team, they delayed the start of their season by 2 games, so they had to reschedule those 2 games, and then the snow came along and canceled last Thursday's game, so they really had to play a lot of games in 3 days, which is very unusual.
There's Casey Brown on your screen as we are set to return from the timeout. 3:37 to go in the first quarter. We're tied at 4. Casey Brown has 2 and Kathy Fitzgerald 2 each for the Phantoms. Phoebus with the basketball. Nikki Reed has the ball intercepted. Good defensive play that time. Tracy Fobbs anticipated the pass and cut it off. So the Crabbers now with a chance to take the lead. Play called by number 10, Jocelyn Milligan. And she loses the ball. She kicked down the floor. Up and no good. On the play, there is a foul, however. On the rebound, the attempted shot by Twiz Jenkins was no good, but she was fouled from behind.
Number 10, Jacqueline Milligan is the one that did the fouling on that, Tim.
That's her first. The team's 4th personal foul. And this will be 2 shots.
10.7, and Kynes, who only has 2 points for Phoebus, comes in averaging 10 points a game.
Twiz Jenkins, a senior at Phoebus, gets the first of 2. And is successful on both. So she puts her team in lead by 2, 6-4. Crabbers trying to beat the press, have a lady down court for an easy shot, but it doesn't go in, and the rebound comes off for the Phantoms. Inside from 10, low shot, no good. And the Crabbers come out with the basketball. Rebound coming out into the hands of Darlene Moore. That's her in the corner, knocked away. And they'll say it's knocked out of bounds. We'll have a substitution now for Phoebus. Coming in is Nikki Reed as she will replace in the lineup Kathy Fitzgerald for the Phantoms.
Number 32 that just took the ball down, that Darlene Moore, is a transfer from Kecoughtan High School. This is her 3rd game that she has played with the Hampton Crabbers, so they would only have 7 had she not transferred in, Tim.
From way outside, an air ball put up. Now on the fast break, quickly down the floor. Jenkins, inside pass, goes to Cassandra Brown, and she's fouled on the shot.
See what Phoebus is getting a little more aggressive. As soon as they're getting the rebound, they're looking down to try to get the fast break. They're playing a little more aggressive on the man-to-man defense at the end and trying to cause some turnovers. And, of course, saw that was the second shot we've seen tonight that was an air ball, and it was not a good percentage shot anyway. And I'm sure that the coach, Ivy Knight, would have rather them try to work the ball around a little bit and get it inside, at least get a better high percentage shot.
Second foul on Milligan. That's the 5th team foul. And Phoebus so far doing quite well from the free throw line as Casey Brown connects on the first of 2.
That was my point, Tim. I'm glad you two. A lot of people don't realize that.
So she's 2 for 2.
She's got a good shot, Tim, and you can see the release on the ball. And you can see why she scores as many points as she does.
And the ball lost out of bounds. Anessa Jones couldn't hold on to the pass. And the Phantoms will get it right back, leading by 4 with 2:27 to go in the first quarter. This is Nikki Reed at the half-court line. She gets it across the timeline, driving the baseline, and a foul before the shot. And it'll be called against the Crabbers. This one is whistled down on Cheyenne Hill. So number 34, Hill, picks up her 2nd personal foul, and she'll come out of the ball game. As checking in will be Crystal Joyner, number 35 for the Lady Crabbers. With that last foul now, that has put Phoebus into the bonus. They're on 1-1, and the ball bounces around and comes out, so they will not get the bonus. Crabbers quickly down the floor, have it stolen. Short jumper, up and good.
That was a nice steal, Tim.
So Nikki Reed converts on the steal. And right back down the floor they go. And this is Twiz Jenkins coming up with the steal for the Lady Phantoms. On the corner, good by number 21, Casey Brown. So she's warming to the task. She's got 4 points. And it's an 8-point lead as the Phantoms now are starting to warm up a little bit. Off the rim, no good. Right back to the hands of the shooter, Terry Williams. So Terry Williams, the 1,000-point lady, gets her first basket of the evening. And that's a 10-point lead.
That's 8 unanswered points, Tim, and it all came from the press. Hampton hadn't even got a chance to get the ball across half court.
Stepping out of bounds was one of the Lady Crabbers, so now the Phantoms will have it in bounds again, leading by 10. Casey Brown drives the baseline, is cut off there, and they'll throw it back out and set it up. This is Nikki Reed, number 10, looking inside. Hampton in a zone defense. From the corner, off the rim, no good. Inside, Brown tries to put it up, has it stripped away, and the Crabbers come down 3-on-1. Under the basket, up the glass and good.
That was a real nice pass. That's a good assist. She kept her head up and looked for the cutter going to the basket. Did a good job.
So Anessa Jones converts for the Crabbers. Off the rim, no good. 2 Phantoms battle for the ball. It's put up and in. Twiz Jenkins with 4 points as she gets the bucket, and it's a 16-6 ball game now with 44 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Lady Phantoms are warming up, Bob.
Yeah, they really are, and it's the press that's doing it, Tim. It's the defense that's causing them to look better offensively. But they're getting very high percentage shots. I don't think any of them has been any further than 8 foot from the basket.
Crabbers get the ball inbounds, looking for a player down court. They've quickly gotten it down. Inside pass, up off the glass, no good. And Cassandra Brown quickly down court for one of her teammates, up off the glass and good.
Oh, that was a nice pass. It was a nice lead pass. You let it bounce one time, took it in with the dribble and scored.
So Denise Phillips gets it, and the steal by Casey Brown, up good. So the Phantoms now are really starting to turn it on as they lead by the score of 20-6. On the breakaway, up an easy basket that time for Crystal Joyner, her first bucket of the night. And it's an 8-point game for the Crabbers. Off the glass, good. And the scoring is coming fast and furious now, Bob.
It's picked up. The last 2 minutes was a whole lot more action than the first 6, Tim.
So we've played 1 quarter. Let's run down the unofficial scoring as I have it. It's 22-8. The scoring, 2 points each for 4 players for the Crabbers. Jones with 2, Joyner with 2, Shepard with 2, and Darlene Moore with 2. That totals the 8 points for the Crabbers. For the Phantoms, Nikki Reed had 2 points in the first quarter. Casey Brown, number 21, had 6 points on 2 free throws and 2 baskets. Terry Williams, a lone bucket in the first quarter. Denise Phillips had 2 baskets for the Lady Phantoms. Twiz Jenkins had 2 free throws and a 2-point basket for the Phantoms. And the scoring was rounded out by Kathy Fitzgerald, who had a lone basket. So at the end of 1 quarter, the Lady Phantoms, who started slowly, have really come on strong, and they lead the Hampton Crabber ladies team by the score of 22-8.
They scored about 12 to 14 points in the last 2.5 to 3 minutes, Tim, and that makes a difference in it because they really started off kind of sloppy and like they were didn't know what was going on. I got the officials' names for the JVs. It's Mr. Pittard and Mr. Wiggs are the 2 officials tonight for the JVs for the girls contest, and we'll have, of course, different officials for when the boys come out and play.
I want to stand corrected. The scoring, I totaled up my points, came up with 20 points. So my quick wit showed me that I was missing someone with a basket. So I checked with the official score to my left here, and Cassandra Brown had 8 points in the first quarter,
oh, wow,
3 baskets and 2 free throws. So that makes it 22. I quickly added it up, and I'm right this time.
You used your calculator
I
just
had
right.
my calculator and my computer.
Well, we haven't got the clock right. The clock's not set. I can't believe they're playing. They don't even have the clock isn't running.
Well, this is going to be a long count. And the official timekeeper here having some difficulty.
I
one
think
clock
he just
says
went to
8
sleep.
minutes and one says 18 minutes. So
Yeah.
that's where the problem seems to be.
Well, they were both started were at 0, and he just didn't reset it. I just think he was kind of daydreaming. That happens sometimes. You get caught up in the contest and you forget to do your little thing that you're supposed to do, and that's reset that thing at 8. One of the things that the fans will notice the difference between the college and the high school is that there is no three-point line in high school, so you don't have a three-point field goal in high school like you do in college, which is real controversial this year. But
and nor do you have a time period in which you have to
right, don't have the shot clock, absolutely.
So we'll start the quarter fresh again. And now we're working. Both ends of the court have the clock working. Off the front of the rim, bounces around, and the Lady Crabbers come up with a rebound, but it's stolen. Up and good.
Looked like a Michael Jordan jump shot there, Tim.
Twiz Jenkins looked like Lady Jordan. And we've got a foul inside.
Looked like it was on number 11, Tim, for the Phantoms on a block.
That's the first on Twiz Jenkins. The Crabbers are not shooting the bonus yet. The Lady Phantoms will be shooting at least 1 and 1 for the remainder of the first half. Foul whistle down on Crystal Joyner, number 35. That's her first, and we'll see a 1 and 1. 7:24 to go in the first half. The Lady Phantoms 24, the Lady Crabbers 8. At the free throw line for Phoebus, number 11, Twiz Jenkins. 1 and 1.
Have they been perfect from the foul line so far, Tim?
I believe you're right, Bob. I believe they have.
That's one thing that has plagued the boys' team we'll talk about later on is foul shooting, but they can take a lesson from the Phoebus girls' team.
Twiz Jenkins, nothing but net. So she's got 8 points, and it's 26-8.
Now they
trying to get their offense going.
right now they come out with that full court press, and then as soon as they can, they stop and go into the pressure man-to-man.
Good pass down the court. Casey Brown up and in.
Did a good job of looking down the court and finding the open man, and that's a hard thing to teach.
Well, Terry Williams gets the assist on that play. We've got a foul underneath.
Foul looks like it was on number 10 for the Phantoms. 10 was Nikki Reed.
That's her first. That is the team's 5th. We've got 2 shots coming for number 31, Kim Fox of the Hampton Crabbers. Substitutions now checking in for the Lady Crabbers. Number 13, Sylvia Shepard. And coming out will be number 32, Darlene Moore. In and out, no good. So 1 out of 2. And through the hands of Nikki Reed, the ball goes, and it goes over to the Lady Crabbers.
That was not a bad play because they had 2 offensive players down at this end. Had she caught it, she'd had a 2-on-1. She's just a little shorter.
Jocelyn Milligan throws the ball inside, but it's intercepted by the Lady Phantoms. And we've got a whistle traveling before the shot. So Twiz Jenkins took 1 step too many. And now we'll have substitution. Jenkins will check out for the Lady Phantoms. And coming in will be Yolanda Keeler. Full court press by the Lady Phantoms. Crabbers find the open player. No good. Rebound Crabbers up and a foul inside. This one's going to be whistled down against Terry Williams. That's her first. And now both teams over the limit. And we'll see at least a 1-and-1 for the remainder of the first half.
We've got a new substitute come in, too, for the Phantoms. Tim, I'm trying to pick up her number. I see the last digit is a 5.
I believe that's Tammy Boggs, number 15, who's come in. And also on the floor now is, as I said, Yolanda Keeler. And we've got number 14 in the ball game. I would assume that's Tracy Richardson. Since I have her down here, but no number for her.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I forgot to pick up Tracy Richardson's number. You got her for 14?
That's correct. Once again, checking with my trusty official score over here. 28 to 10.
You're slick tonight, Tim.
So playing a little ragged right now, the Lady Phantoms. And a traveling call.
Travel.
Casey Brown took a long stride before she put the ball down and was whistled for the traveling. 5:53 to go in the first half. 28 to 10, an 18-point lead for the Phantoms.
Now, the Phantoms are in a more of a passive full court press now. They're letting the team come to them rather than going out and trying to deny.
Whistle underneath and a foul. This one charged to Cheyenne Hill, number 34 of Hampton. That's unofficially her third. So Hill picks up her third. And she'll check out of the ball game. Crystal Joyner back in for the Lady Crabbers. At the free throw line, Casey Brown. And she'll be shooting 1-and-1. Has 10 points on 4 baskets and 2 free throws. Make that 11.
I was asking Mike Talon Thursday when I was over here about his practices and how much time he spends on the fundamentals, and he said he spends half of his practice on fundamentals every day. That is why all his team, the ball handlers out there, can use both their right and their left, are very good from the foul line and pass and dribbling that ball. And that, of course, you got to do the fundamentals, Tim.
Whistle inside. And called for the personal foul is Tammy Boggs, number 15. That's her first. And going to the free throw line for the Lady Crabbers is Darlene Moore, number 32. Moore with 2 points on the evening, and she'll have 2 shots. Rims the basket with the first one. Don't forget now, after this game, we'll have the boys' game between Hampton and Phoebus. So 1 out of 2 go in for Darlene Moore. 29 to 11. Brown, Williams, Keeler, inside Boggs loses it out of bounds on the baseline. So the Crabbers get it back. And as you mentioned, the Lady Phantoms have chosen to take that full court press off. Fox playing catch with Moore. Play number 4 called by Moore. Crystal Joyner back to Moore from 15, off the rim, no good. Rebound, but apparently, in order to get that rebound, Kim Fox climbed the back. And now we'll have wholesale substitutions. 1-and-1 coming up. Coming in now for the Phantoms. Checking back in the ball game, number 11, Twiz Jenkins. Let me see if I can pick these up.
I'm going to see how you do that, Tim.
Denise Phillips, number 24 in the ball game, and Kathy Fitzgerald, number 30, check back in for the Phantoms. And we'll have yet another substitution. Tracy Richardson will be coming out after she gets through with the free throws. She's shooting 1 and 1. And the first one no good. So she'll have to stay in now until there's a stoppage of play. Phoebus gets the ball back. Flat-footed jumper, no good. And the Crabbers bring it down the court. Darlene Moore can't hold on to it and saves it, but hands it right to the Phantoms. Nice play by...
That was really nice. She had a gal was right in her face, and she still put the ball up and in. Used the backboard real well.
Twiz Jenkins now with 10 points. Stolen again, and we've got another foul. This one charged to Darlene Moore. That's her first, unofficially. Substitution now will come in for Phantom. Nikki Reed will come in, and she'll replace Tracy Richardson. So Darlene Moore picks up her first personal, and going to the free throw line will be Kathy Fitzgerald. She's got 1 basket on the evening. A 20-point lead for the Lady Phantoms, 31-11, 4:17 to go. No good on the first of 1 and 1. On the rebound, it's put up and good by Denise Phillips.
All of these Phoebus players shoot the ball real well, Tim. They've got real good release on the ball.
And Phillips, after getting that shot, overdoes the defense there. A little bit too much guarding on the part of Denise Phillips, and she now has picked up her 3rd personal foul.
Well, I think if we look at the benches, Tim, we'll have to say that the Phoebus has a much stronger bench and much more substitutes down there to go to than what the Hampton Crabbers do.
If not in anything else but numbers.
That's right.
Darlene Moore at the free throw line, 1 and 1, an air ball. So the ball will go over to the Phantoms.
And they have to take it out on the side when it doesn't hit anything.
Casey Brown inbounds. Twiz Jenkins looking for the open player, knocked away on a good defensive effort by Tracy Fobbs, number 30 of the Hampton Crabbers. I could be wrong, but I seem to remember Casey Brown last year for the Lady Phantoms. She was good then, and she hadn't gotten any worse.
No, she hasn't. In fact, she may have gotten a little bit better, Tim.
Yep, she's quite a good ball player. Inside pass stolen by the Crabbers, quickly down the floor, 1 on 3. Now the rest of the Lady Crabbers catch up with the play. Darlene Moore aggressively going to the basket, and she is fouled by number 15, Tammy Boggs. So that'll be the sophomore's 2nd personal foul. And it'll be 1 and 1 for Darlene Moore. So many times you see that in every sport. The more aggressive you are, you cause the other team to make fouls and to make mistakes. You see it in basketball, you see it in hockey, you see it in football. You know, anytime that you're aggressive, you're going to make them make mistakes.
Well, they try to do things that they're not accustomed to doing. You're making them do it at a little faster speed than what they're accustomed to doing, Tim. But that's a good point.
We saw a real good game here last year, the Phoebus game we did. We saw some of the best defense I've ever seen in high school, some of the quickest players I've ever seen. So we'll be looking forward to that. And the boys' game will be coming up right after this one. We've got 3:40 to go in the first half. 33-12, the Phantoms on top of the Crabbers. Hampton in his own defense. Way outside, no good. And the Crabbers come out with it. Darlene Moore, 1 on 2. Left-handed dribble, holds up, shoots, no good. Gets her own rebound and puts it up again, no good. And Darlene Moore once again, she's hitting the same spot on the board each time. No good again, and finally, the Lady Phantoms get it, and we've got a foul underneath.
She shot the ball 4 times, and that ball come back to her each time, but she put it on the same spot each time, Tim. She didn't adjust her shot or for windage or something. I remember the old Kentucky rifle that you had to allow for windage and everything else. She kept putting it on the same spot each time.
The irony of it was, it was so obvious that's exactly what she was doing. Each time she put it up, she hit the same spot on the board, and it came off in the same direction as you might expect it would. And a costly situation now. That last foul was the 4th on Hill.
Oh, wow, 4, and they got 3:10 to go in the first half yet. Little quick whistles there, but that was on number 11 for the Phantoms.
Liz Jenkins picks up her second personal. So the fouls are coming fast and furious here. Denise Phillips for Phoebus has 3 personal fouls. Tammy Boggs with 2, and then no one else has more than 1. For the Crabbers, I may have incorrectly credited that foul, the 4th on Hill. I'll have to double check at halftime here, but we'll make sure we get our statistics all squared away. At the free throw line for the Crabbers, Kim Fox. No good on the front end of the 1-and-1. Casey Brown from the free throw line, no good by Williams, and a foul underneath. Got a foul. And this one's charged to Casey Brown. That's her second.
We probably will not see her until the second half. I know that Mike does not want to get any of his players in more than 2 fouls. You don't want to get 3 fouls at the beginning in the first half.
So for the Phantoms right now on the floor, they've got Kathy Fitzgerald, Nikki Reed, number 10, Twiz Jenkins, number 11, Tammy Boggs, number 15, and Terry Williams, number 23. That's their lineup on the court. For the Crabbers, by the way, Tracy Fobbs connects on the first of the 1-and-1. Takes a jump shot free throw. This one's no good. But the Lady Crabbers maintain possession. Darlene Moore calls the play, looks inside. Tipped away and taken by the Phantoms. Off the glass and good by Nikki Reed. So Reed now has 2 baskets.
She's a good foot shorter than the gal that was guarding her that time, and she just went right onto the basket and used the board real well.
35-13 is our score. A little more than 2 minutes to go in the first half. Inside, no good. Getting her own rebound and Joyner is knocked away. Still controlled by the Lady Crabbers. This time it's intercepted by Nikki Reed. So little Nikki Reed pulls up, puts it up, no good, but she was fouled.
She does a real good job in anticipating where that pass is going to go and just steps right in front of the offensive player and intercepts the ball. She did that 2 or 3 times already tonight.
Sylvia Shepard, number 13 for the Crabbers, is charged with her second personal. The 2 shots coming for Nikki Reed at the free throw line. 2 baskets so far, 4 points for Reed. And she connects on the first of 2. Substitution, Twiz Jenkins comes out, checking in Tracy Richardson for the Phantoms. 36-13, 1:53 to go. On the second of 2, no good. Phantoms still have the ball. Terry Williams from 10 feet, no good. Inside, up, no good. Battle for the rebound. Finally, the Lady Crabbers will bring it down. Intercepted. Nikki Reed, 2-on-1, finds the open teammate, Casey Brown, off the glass.
Did a good job of looking off the defensive ball player that time. That was an excellent assist.
So give the assist to Nikki Reed and the basket to Cassandra Brown. And she's got 5 baskets and 3 free throws for 13 points unofficially here in the first half.
Well, I'm really impressed with Nikki Reed. She's just a sophomore, Tim, so he's going to have her 2 more years. But she does a good job defensively and running the offense for him.
Good playmaker. Ball intercepted again. And traveling was not called. It could have been. Casey Brown up and in. So Casey Brown is really turning it on here in the first half. 15 unofficial points. She's got 15 of the 40 her team has. She alone is outscoring the Lady Crabbers. Off the glass and good. Kim Fox. gets her first basket. She's got 3 points. Inside of a minute now, 40 seconds to go. Terry Williams off the glass.
She's got a sweet shot.
That's only her second bucket of the night. Casey Brown has been doing the bulk of the scoring, as I mentioned. Terry Williams, a prolific scorer, 5th in the district, off the glass, no good. And as I mentioned, Williams only with 2 baskets. Not so that she's being held down by defense, she just hasn't been taking the shots.
No, she hasn't, and she hasn't been hitting, but when she does let go of that ball right with a good wrist control and good backspin on it, she's got as good a shot as anybody in the district. Looks like we had a foul call on some of that time, Tim.
Crystal Joyner, and I think I gave her credit for. I gave the foul to Hill earlier for her, so Hill now with 3 and Joyner with 3 for the Crabbers. So they've got 2 players that are in foul trouble. With that short bench, they've got some problems.
Yes,
Terry Williams misses on the front end of the free throws.
And I was just telling you how good she was shooting, didn't I?
It'll never fail. Don't ever talk about it.
Don't mean to jinx them, but that happens, it seems like.
15 seconds to go. Double team the ball. The Crabbers having difficulty. They finally get it across the timeline, and Casey Brown will pick up her 3rd personal foul, and that's got to be something Mike Talon was not going to be pleased about. So Brown picks up her 3rd personal foul, and she'll come out of the ball game. As you said, they didn't want her out there with that 2, and she let herself get that 3rd one. It really wasn't that flagrant of a foul.
No, it wasn't. And with only 8 seconds to go in the half, you really hate to see that kind of a foul if you're the coach.
On the front end of the 1-and-1, no good by Fox. Ball goes out of bounds. It belongs to the Phantoms with 3 ticks of the clock. The Phantoms will be the full length of the court away. 42-15 is the score. Long pass at half court, intercepted, and it will not count. Shot put up.
It went in, but he called no. That was a close call, Tim. I think I ought to wait and see if we go in and call.
So the official ruled that the shot was not made before the buzzer went off, and that's the way it'll stand at halftime. The Lady Phantoms 42, the Lady Crabbers 15. We'll be back with second half action after this brief timeout and a message. There you see the halftime score, 42 for the Phoebus Phantoms, 15 for the Lady Crabbers. Tim Cole with Bob Hintz at the Phoebus High School Gymnasium. And we've got some halftime statistics for you. At halftime, the Hampton Crabbers had 5 out of 8 free throws, and they were led by Darlene Moore with 4 points on 2 baskets and 2 free throws. Sylvia Shepard had 2 points for the Lady Crabbers, as did Crystal Joyner, Anessa Jones, and Tracy Fobbs, each with 2, and Kim Fox had 3 points on a basket and 1 free throw. For the Lady Phantoms, they were led by Cassandra Brown, who had 15 points. She had a total of 6 baskets, 3 free throws for the 15 points. Then Twiz Jenkins had 10 points, 3 baskets, and 4 free throws, followed by Denise Phillips, who had 6 points on 3 baskets, 4 points for Terry Williams on 2 baskets. Denise Phillips had 6 points at halftime for the Lady Phantoms, and Nikki Reed with 5 points for the Phantoms. Kathy Fitzgerald rounded out the scoring with 1 basket for 2 points. So 42-15 at the halftime.
Well, Tim, it's kind of turned out the way we thought it would. We got the #1 team playing the team that's on the bottom of the league, and a lot of the Phoebus's team's points came off of their defense, their pressing defense, where they turned the ball over, got the ball back down, got good inside shots, and of course they hit real well from the foul line, which is one of the statistics you gave us, so that's really good. I do want to let everybody know when these games are going to be played, and we'll tell you over here, and of course we're going to get them to announce it just before the start of the boys' games, but the girls' game will be played Tuesday and Thursday night this coming week at 9 o'clock, and the boys' contest will be played Monday and Wednesday at 9 o'clock, Tim.
So as you obviously are either watching this game on Tuesday or Thursday, if you miss the boys' game, Wednesday night is your last chance to see that game.
There you go. And we'll get them
And
to
if it's
announce.
Thursday night that you're watching, you blew it. You missed it. So.
That's right, you missed it. We'll get them to announce before the beginning of the boys' contest so the fans will know.
Okay, so we're underway in the second half. The Phantoms got the ball in half court. Nikki Reed puts it up a little strong, and the Lady Crabbers bring it down. From the corner, off the glass, no good. And Terry Williams rebounds for the Phantoms. Underneath, no good, but a foul inside.
That's the Nikki Reed, number 10, that did a good job of penetrating and passing that ball off, Tim. And she plays real well for just a sophomore. She is going to be one of the best guards on the peninsula by the time she gets to be a senior, and she's probably one of the best right now.
Jackie Milligan, number 10, called for the personal foul. That is her third. 2 shots coming for Denise Phillips. Nothing but net. Joyner, Hill, and Milligan now in foul trouble for the Lady Crabbers with 3 each. This one no good. So 1 out of 2 for Denise Phillips. Down the court, it's intercepted by Nikki Reed. Reed travels.
Yeah, she was going to put it up with her left hand, which is what you need to do, but she just took 1 extra step.
Kind of fumbled the ball, got kind of caught on her hand, and she just took 1 step more than she's allowed. So they'll turn it over. Sylvia Shepard, guarded by Twiz Jenkins. Inside, Nikki Reed against the much taller player for the Crabbers, Cheyenne Hill. She couldn't get to the ball, but she certainly made it difficult for the Crabbers. And the ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Phoebus. Inbounds pass, off the glass, no good. Joyner missed it, rebound no good. Still loose, Terry Williams comes up with it for the Phantoms. Reed's pass inside for Phillips goes out of bounds, but Phillips was fouled from behind. And that is number 4 on Hill, and she'll come out of the ball game. Darlene Moore will check back in.
And that foul was caused because of a good pass from Nikki Reed. Nikki did a good job getting the ball, lobbing the ball into the inside person.
Ball knocked out of bounds, last touched by Williams of Phoebus. Little confusion there for a moment. The Lady Crabbers forgot which basket they were shooting at.
Yeah, they were a little confused. If they'd have taken the ball across half court, then it'd have been a backcourt violation.
So the ball belongs now to Phoebus, and they will be going from our right to our left.
They're going from the left to the right, Tim.
Oh, that's right. Forgot. Our cameras are on the other side. Don't confuse me. Wide open, alone under the basket. Put up and no good. And Williams is going to be fouled, and a foul will be charged to Jocelyn Milligan, and that'll be number 4 on Milligan.
What we ought to do is kind of explain that to the fans out there. Tim and I are sitting on one side of the court. The cameras are on the other side. So when Tim was saying they're going from our right to our left, that's what we're seeing, but that's not what you're seeing.
That's what you're seeing. They're left to right.
You just think Tim doesn't know his left from the right, you'll be okay.
Obviously, the team had trouble with it too, and they're the ones playing the game. So. Inbounds pass, Casey Brown, up off the glass, no good. Knocked out of bounds, and it'll belong to Phoebus. 43-15. 6:08 to go in the third quarter. 4 8-minute quarters in high school basketball. Williams. Inside for Nikki Reed. She keeps it alive. From the free throw line, an off-balance shot, no good. Inside, Williams is good with the rebound and shot, and it'll count. So now Crystal Joyner, number 35, picks up her 4th personal foul. And the Lady Crabbers are getting deeper and deeper in trouble. They've now got 3 players with 4 personal fouls. Williams misses. And we've got a whistle.
Looked like a violation. I'm not too sure who he called it against. But if that's a violation, I'd give her another shot from the free throw line. Must have been a violation on a Hampton ball player. That's the only thing I can figure out, Tim.
So Williams will get a second try at the 3-point play. And this time she makes no mistake. So that's 7 points now for Terry Williams. 46-15. 31-point lead for the Lady Phantoms. Inside, a fine move as Tracy Phoebus picks up the basket. And she's got 4 points. Inside, off the glass, no good.
That was a nice pass. She just didn't use the wrong hand. Should use her left hand that time, and she used her right.
Darlene Moore dribbles for the Lady Crabbers. Moore from 14, no good. And the ball is scrambled for, and it was the last touch by the Crabbers. Brown comes out, and Kathy Fitzgerald checks in for the Phantoms.
She does a good job breaking that press right by herself, which is a tool in itself. If you got a good ball handler and break the press as well as she did, but then she threw the ball under bound. Talk about Nikki Reed, and the ball was thrown under the basket and was mishandled. Here she comes with a steal and a nice lead pass.
Jenkins can't get the conversion. Williams is hammered from behind, and she'll get 2 shots.
They're missing a lot of inside shots, Tim. That's about 3 or 4 that they have missed in the last minute. And that'll give a coach gray hairs in a heartbeat, or have him pulling his hair out one. Because those shots you just don't get very often, and you hope you collect on them.
So the foul is charged to Sylvia Shepard. That's her 3rd personal foul. At the free throw line, shooting 2 is Terry Williams. Good on the first. A 30-point lead for the Phantoms as Williams converts on both free throws. And she's got 9 points so far on the evening. 4:38 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Phoebus is in a zone right now, 1-3-1 zone, and they're just putting pressure on the ball when it comes in their area. And of course, the best way to attack a zone is to pass the ball, and Hampton's having trouble hanging on to the ball. Nice drive.
Nice end-to-end drive by Denise Phillips. And she converts. Now she's got 9 points unofficially. (50-17) from way outside. The ball is an air ball, and it'll belong to the Phantoms. Substitution for the Phantoms coming in is Yolanda Keeler, and she'll give Twiz Jenkins a breather. Jenkins checks out with unofficial 10 points. There you see the score, 50-17.
They do a good job running a 3-on-2 break and penetrating and passing the ball off. Phoebus is who I'm talking about. They did a good job that time.
Kim Fox called for her 2nd personal foul. Hampton well over the limit. Phoebus shooting 1-1 at least. In this case, of course, a 2-shot foul coming for Denise Phillips.
Well, they were over the limit real quick, if you remember, in the first half, Tim, or actually the first quarter.
So Phillips connects on the first. She's got 10 points. Misses the second.
They picked it up, number 23. Terry Williams got the loose ball and put it up and scored for the Phantom.
So now Williams has 11 points. They've got several players in double figures. Ball thrown away by the Lady Crabbers. Crabbers struggling from the beginning. They They had a lead at 4-2, believe it or not.
Yes, they did at the beginning of the game. They sure did.
But unfortunately for them, it's been all downhill since. This is Terry Williams, no good. Inside, good rebound, up and in. So Denise Phillips has 12 points. Phillips with 12, Williams with 11, Jenkins with 10, Brown with 15. All of those coming in the first half. No good. Rebound comes long for the Crabbers. Darlene Moore will shoot from 15. It's off the front of the rim. And out comes the Phantoms' quick break. Jump ball, as you might expect. First and 10.
That's what it looked like. It should be, the ball should be to the Crabbers because the Phantoms took it out at the beginning of the halftime, so it's alternate possession.
So the Crabbers trailing by the score of 55-17. Bring the ball up. This is Darlene Moore. She's got 4 points, and she leads her team in scoring here in the ball game. And traveling will be the charge. Anessa Jones left the ground and didn't dribble the ball.
She jumped up and tried it. It was a fake, I'm sure, but she forgot to tell her feet to stay on the ground.
So the turnover gives it to the Phantoms. Inside the pass. Knocked away. Williams retrieves. Drives the lane, and the whistle will be charged before the shot. Moore is charged. That's her second. And it'll be a 1-and-1. That was the case, Bob, where another split second they would have called that as a two-shot foul.
Well, in college and definitely in the pros, that would have been a continuation type of thing. She would have got it, but in high school, they definitely, if you get the foul before they get into the action, they don't get the continuation type of thing. So that was a good call.
Williams connects on the first of the 1-and-1. You know, the pro game, just a little comment on my part here. The pro game, I see the continuation sometimes as being a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've seen some continuations that they called before the teams left the locker room. So
I've never heard it put quite that way.
They have a little bit of poetic license in the continuation call.
Yeah, they do. They do let them get by with a little something out there.
2 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the third quarter. Phoebus with the ball and a healthy lead. Baseline drive, double team. Ball is stolen by the Crabbers. A lot of the subs in the ball game now for the Phantoms, getting a lot of playing time. That's one nice thing about having a good team.
Absolutely.
You get your reserves with that time they have to have.
And it does. It gives them game experience, and that just helps you, makes you stronger for the following year.
So Yolanda Keeler, a junior, picks up her first personal foul. But that's how the rich get richer. If you've got a good team, you can build a lead against the other team, and you can get your subs in there, and they get that game experience, which you have to have.
That's,
nothing like it.
That's for sure.
Way outside, and we've got a whistle and a foul. This one will be charged to number 30, Kathy Fitzgerald, the junior, and that'll be her first. So at the free throw line for the Lady Crabbers, Anessa Jones, and she has 2 points on the evening. Bob, how is your alma mater there, your old former coaching days at Bethel? How is your team doing this year? How's the boys' team doing?
When I looked at the statistics, I think Bethel had a 5-5 record last I looked at them. I haven't seen them, but Mike Bailey's the new coach over there. This is his second year over there. He's doing a real fine job with the Bruins. So we will pick up the Bruins and the Kickotan on the 17th of February, and I'm assuming that it will be televised very similar to what this game is. But we're looking forward to doing that one too, and that'll come from Bethel High School. So I get to go home, Tim, so to speak.
That's right. 17th of February, we'll be at Bethel for that game between the Kickotan Warriors and the Bethel Bruins. From way outside, number 13 for the Crabbers, that is Sylvia Shepard, and she's got 4 points now. And a blocking foul down court against Jones. That's her first. So if you think basketball isn't a contact sport, doesn't matter whether you're on the girls' team or the boys' team. You're going to go down once in a while.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Casey Brown checks back in for the Lady Phantoms. She'll replace in the lineup Kathy Fitzgerald. And good on the first of two. That's 15 points unofficially now for Terry Williams. And she cannot get the second, so she'll have unofficially 15 points. That ties her for team leading scoring with Casey Brown. Williams puts it up strong, and she's fouled by Darlene Moore. She'll get 2 shots. So Darlene Moore called for her 3rd personal. 3 of the Crabbers have 4 personal fouls. And they're pretty much riding the bench at this point because of that.
And as you had mentioned earlier, Tim, they have a real weak bench because they don't have but 3 substitutes that they can use. So if they get in foul trouble and lose a couple of fouls, they can't substitute anymore after they get them in.
So with that 1 out of 2 conversion there by Terry Williams, she takes over the leading scoring tonight for the team, 16 points unofficially. Off the glass, no good, and it's picked up by the Lady Phantoms.
Oh, no. I know she felt good about that. She let that go. She looked real good. That's Tammy Boggs, and she's just a sophomore for the Phantoms. So he's got some sophomores coming back, plus I told you about those 9th graders that he's got working with it.
So the basket is good, and Tammy Boggs gets her 2 points, her first 2 points for the evening. Foul is on Sylvia Shepard, so now we have 4 Lady Crabbers with 4 personal fouls. There you see the score, 62-20, with just 34 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. At this rate, it looks like the Lady Phantoms here got a shot at getting 80, 90 points.
Oh, yes. They've scored quite a few points in the last 2 or 3 ball games anyway. They are a very proficient scoring team, and the reason they are, according to Coach Mike Talon, is because of their aggressive defense, that they do a real good job defensively with their press, and they pick up a lot of easy baskets on turnovers, Tim. So that's the reason we're seeing that the score is as high as it is. Of course, they're playing against a real weak team also tonight.
Getting a chance to pan around the crowd here tonight. The crowd still filing in, of course, with the second game, the boys' game, which is being shown on Monday and Wednesday. The girls' game Tuesday and Thursday, 9 o'clock is airtime. Pleasure to be back here on Channel 29 after a brief hiatus from the football season. Again, our congratulations going out to the Hampton Crabbers and head coach Mike Smith over at Crabberland for their state championship, their 2nd consecutive state championship.
Yes, it was a fine season for them, and they're going to, I believe it's this Monday, they're going to recognize them at the Peninsula Sports Club Monday night at Sam's Steakhouse. So that's another accolade for Coach Mike Smith. He's just done a super job over there with those that football team. Tim, there's a number 20 in there for Phoebus that I don't have on my roster. Do you have her?
I have her as Jackie Sechrist, and I had her listed as number 13, but I believe you're right. Number 20 is the number that she has been assigned for this ball game.
And she is another sophomore out there, so that's 3 sophomores that he's got playing. One is playing as a starter, Nikki Reed, and the other 2 is Boggs and Sechrist.
This is Boggs with the rebound, intercepted by the Crabbers. And Cassandra Brown finds the going tough as she works her way through the pack. Nice pass.
That was a super pass in there.
Terry Williams couldn't quite get the basket to go, but a super feed from Cassandra Brown. So we've had 3 quarters of basketball, and our score now 62 for the Lady Phantoms and 20 for the Lady Crabbers. Scoring in the third quarter here, Sandra Brown had 15 points at halftime. She was held scoreless in the third quarter, and in doing so, Terry Williams went from her halftime total of just 4 points, and she has scored 12 points in the third quarter here to give herself a total of 16. So Williams came alive here in the third quarter.
Well, she sure did. She is just tearing up the net. You're going to run out of paper there, Tim. You're going to have to give her another line or something.
You're right. Twiz Jenkins had 10 points at halftime. She did not score in the third quarter here. Denise Phillips picked up, well, let's see, she's gotten 6 points in the third quarter. So between Williams and Phillips, they did all of the scoring in the third quarter.
Well, no, there was a 2
with the exception of Tammy Boggs.
Tammy Boggs got that one jumper that she got in and got fouled on, missed a foul shot.
So Boggs had 2 in the third quarter. Denise Phillips had 6, and Terry Williams had 12 in the third quarter. So the Lady Phantoms have stretched that lead out now to 62 to 20 for the Lady Crabbers.
They're averaging just under 21 points a quarter, and of course if you can keep that up, that means you're going to be within the, like he was talking about, you're going to be in the 80 field, 80 point total. Well, I see the guy's got the clock ready to go, Tim. I was wondering about him having all zeros again there for a second.
Williams coming into the game averaging a little more than 17 a game. She's got 16. And Casey Brown coming in averaging 12.3. And she's more than gotten her average. She has 15.
They're getting mixed up. It's white ball, and one official doesn't want to give it to the white team. The other one keeps telling him white, and he's going to come over and check with somebody who's more important than he is, I guess. We're getting ready to start now. This is the fourth quarter.
Twiz Jenkins back in the ball game. She and Reed are the backcourt tandem for Phoebus. This is Terry Williams holding the ball. Back to Jenkins. Over for Reed. Casey Brown now touches the ball. The only player for Phoebus that hasn't touched it in this sequence is Tracy Richardson, number 14. Williams will put it up. Good.
Yeah, nice touch on it. Got a nice bounce.
18 now unofficially for Williams. Phantoms bring it down. 2 on 3. Good move. Denise Phillips has 14.
Mike Tyler is yelling at his team because they're supposed to be in a 1-3-1, and one girl was playing man-to-man, which really kind of destroys your zone.
Off the glass, no good. And quickly out now, 2 on 1. Jenkins and Reed. And Jenkins, good defense that time, caused her to double dribble.
She tried to do a good job. She tried to take the ball on the other side and to pass it. She just lost control of it. And of course, the gal did a good job defensing her also.
So the turnover gives the ball to the Crabbers. Steal by Brown, rather. Casey Brown. What works out to be a pass was in fact a shot.
You could say, oh no, good pass, huh?
Casey Brown put it up. It was short, but a good alert play by Denise Phillips, and she's got 16, just behind Terry Williams in the score column. Stolen on the inbounds. This is Nikki Reed. Reed will put it up herself and got it. So Reed now with 7 points.
And that's a 50-point lead, and I think we will really see some wholesale substitutions now.
From the free throw line, it's good, and we got a whistle underneath. So Crystal Joyner gets the basket, and the foul is charged to Nikki Reed.
But the foul was away from the basket, so they're not in a one-on-one. They'll just take the ball out of bounds.
Okay, that is the call. There was a little confusion momentarily there, but in fact, because the bonus is not in effect, Hampton gets the basket and the ball. Off the glass, a poor shot, no good. And quickly down the court comes Casey Brown. Battle inside, Travers come up with it, and Brown steals it right back. Bobbing and weaving, Brown puts it in.
She is having just a fantastic night tonight, isn't she, Tim?
She's really aggressive. She really plays good, aggressive ball, and I'm telling you, that's the kind of ball that you like to see played.
Absolutely.
She hustles the whole time she's out there. She's got a certain flair to her too. She's a real feisty player. She doesn't like it when she didn't like it when she came out earlier. The coach made a substitution for her, and the girl coming in said, "Who am I guarding?" And she says, "We're playing zone, girl."
And you know, she's the only one with a headband on, so she's taking this game serious. There's no doubt about it.
Yes, she is. And having a great game while she's doing it. She's got 17 points unofficially. Rebound comes off, and a foul inside. Blocking foul will be charged to number 12, and that is Yolanda Keeler. That's her second.
Still are not in the bonus. I don't know what number that foul that is, Tim, but it's got to be get them close to the bonus pretty soon.
72-22, not exactly a nail biter.
Angela Scott gets the rebound and puts it in for the Lady Wolves.
Terry Williams will take it coast to coast. It doesn't go. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch. They'll say it was last touched by one of the Lady Crabbers.
I wouldn't have guessed who touched that one last. It was bouncing off her hands right and left.
Terry Williams doesn't get the bounce this time. Quickly down the court. Crabbers put it up. Air ball. And Williams quickly back on defense gets the ball. This is Terry Williams from 18. No good. Inside, battled for. Last touched by one of the Crabbers. Well, Monica Hart, number 33, will come into the ball game now as the substitutions continue for Phoebus. And Terry Williams will come out, and she comes out with 18 points. She very well may have seen her last playing time this evening.
Very well could have been the last time we'll see her. You're right.
Tammy Boggs intercepts. A 3-on-2. Boggs will shoot from 14. No good. And inside, you got a jump ball. Of course, as you said, no jump ball anymore. It's a change of possession. As a former coach, Bob, how do you feel about that?
That is something I have advocated since I was coaching back in the 70s. I was saying they ought to do away with the jump ball. I have seen too many times when the official throws the ball up and not intentionally, but he not straight, and gives an advantage to the other team. So I think it's a rule that should have been here a long, long time ago.
Four minutes to go. Shot is short, and Tammy Boggs comes out with the rebound. I don't have strong feelings about it, Bob, but to give you just an opposite side, a point of view, I kind of like the jump ball aspect of it myself. It rewards you for hustle a lot of times when you hustle and get a ball on a jump ball or something like that. And if you kill yourself and it's the change of possession to the other team, you kind of feel like all you've done is set up the next time around.
Well, that's true too, Tim. You're right. For the normal progression of basketball, what has happened over the past is that at the beginning they used to jump after every field goal was made. I mean, they'd always go back. Every time there's a score, they went back to a jump. So it's just kind of, I look at it as a thing that is just a normal revolution of evolution that was going to happen with the jump ball anyway.
I think they changed that part of the game when Wilt Chamberlain came into the game, I think.
When you had your real dominant center, it really made a big difference. But now, I have seen ball games that were happened when there was a close game and they called a jump ball and a ball was just thrown up bad. A guy got a tip and an easy basket underneath it. They had to change of possession. I don't know. I
have to agree with you. There are obvious points for both, and probably more points in
from a coaching standpoint. I didn't like it. I'm glad that they finally got it out, but they didn't do it until after I got out of coaching. I wrote to them every year. They'd write and ask, what rules do you think should be changed? And that was one of my, ever since I started coaching in 1970. That's one of the things I advocated.
They finally got your letter.
Yeah, they finally did. It got lost in the mail. You know, the mail, I better not say anything. I got some good friends that are postmen. So.
Former friends, if you're not
Probably. I think I sent it UPS or so.
Okay, so getting 2 free throws is Crystal Joyner. And Joyner has 6 points on the evening. It's 72-26. And standing on the end line, and we'll get yet another substitution there.
I want you to pick up all these names and these new girls we got out there, because I think maybe some of those are his 9th graders. I don't know. That's number 41 is a new one that just came in, Tim.
And again, I got to find out this lady's name to my left here. She's helped me immeasurably. That's Chantel Pitt. And in the ball game, quickly she gets called for the personal foul.
Well, she gets her name onto there twice. That's she's in the score box now, right?
That's right. She made it into the score box for sure. There's still several more players on the bench to our left here at Phoebus that haven't played yet. You have to wonder what it takes to get all the players in the ballgame if you've got a 48-point lead with 2 minutes to go.
Yes.
And another jump ball. So Tammy Boggs ties up Cheyenne Hill of Hampton. And on the change of possession, the Crabbers will inbounds. Ball tipped away, and Boggs has it stolen away. Looked like a little double dribble there, but
yeah, I think he just let that one go.
Officials using a little bit of poetic license here. Sylvia Shepard is called for her 5th personal foul, if I have it correctly.
Got number 31 coming in, Tim. You have 31 on your roster?
31, huh? How about a 13?
No, 31 for Phoebus just came into the game.
How about Allison Bailey?
They really work. Good thing you got a very cooperative gal sitting next to you. You better get her name and give her a plug, Tim.
You're absolutely right. And I'm glad they didn't do this earlier because it's so hard trying to pick up all the names of these people. When you get down to the 15th sub, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
72-28. Off the glass and good, as Tracy Fobbs now has 6 points. And the Crabbers hit the 30-point mark and a traveling call. 2:21, 72-30. The Lady Phantoms will up their mark to 12-2 overall. And the Lady Crabbers will go to 1-13. Darlene Moore's left-hand shot is short, but it's knocked out of bounds by one of the Phantoms.
I see we got one of the Hampton High football coaches that walked in, Danny Mitchell, sitting in the stands across the way from us. He's one of the assistant coaches on that championship team this year. Looks like he's got a few more gray hairs. I don't know if that's that hard or what is happening with him.
Inside of 2 minutes to go. So Casey Brown is out of the game. She had 17. Terry Williams with 18 was the leading scorer. Denise Phillips for the Phantoms with 16. Inside, turnaround jumper is good. So Tracy Fobbs now has 8 points. And we've got a traveling call again.
And now you're really in trouble. So we got a 32, a 40, a 25, and a 34.
You love this, don't you?
You got them? I wouldn't have your job. I'm glad I'm not sitting next to that guy with the numbers.
Well, let's see here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to call it the way I see it.
Okay.
40 throws the ball to 30. In and out, no good. Chased down in the corner. The Phantoms have the ball. And the subs are in and having a good time. And a double dribble.
That's a bad call. She didn't carry the ball, and you can bounce the ball all you want to.
She never stopped the dribble, right?
That's right. She never stopped the dribble. That's why that's
What they can call sometimes when the ball, you used to call when the bounce of the ball got above the chest, they would call it for palming.
right.
But not double dribbling.
That one they called for double dribbling, so I don't understand because she never did use but one hand the whole time. So.
Well, we've got forward and back. That's the rule that they didn't used to have. For a long time, the girls didn't have the timeline. They had the half-court line.
Yeah, they've always had the half-court line. In the girls' college, they don't have the half-court line.
That's what I was saying. The college girls.
They still don't.
Yeah, is that right? They still don't have the timeline. But they have a shot clock, so.
Yes, they had the shot clock before the boys did in college.
A couple of those 2-0 games put the shot clock into effect, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Now we're inside of a minute.
Well, number 20, I remember her. That's Jackie Sechrist.
That one
help
I
you
got.
out when I can, Tim.
I appreciate the help. So
I just wanted to say that I think the referees are earning their pay tonight because they're blowing their whistle a lot and they're getting kind of sweaty out there. So they're earning their pay tonight.
They always do. The officials are probably, they got the toughest job in any sport. Nine points now for Tracy Fobbs. She's the leading scorer for the Crabbers. Sylvia Shepard with 8 points. Bristol Joyner with 6. And this one bounces around, finally comes down, but ends up harmlessly bouncing off. And a foul. Darlene Moore called for the foul. It kind of bothers me. I hear some of the fans, if you want to call people who do that, fans kind of laughing in the stands, and some of these girls are out there. A lot of these girls that are, as I say, the subs coming off the bench, they haven't got a great deal of experience, but let's give them credit for having the guts to get out there and practice hard and play. Kind of bothers me to hear the fans laughing at them. They really should appreciate more the fact that these girls, a lot of them, are playing their first organized basketball.
And not only that, they're taking this as serious as anything. They wouldn't be out there practicing hard every day either. So you're right. I have to go along with that comment. It really kind of takes away from the game.
I'm sure they can hear it too. And these girls work hard at this. Darlene Moore connects. Six points for Darlene Moore, double team in the backcourt. And a traveling call on Jackie Sechrist. 21 seconds left, 72-35. There you see the score and the time remaining. From 15, too strong off the glass. Put up inside, and we have yet another whistle. This would be merciful if they would just let the whistle go for the next 10 seconds.
Clicks. Let it go. It's obviously out of reach, Tim.
Well, the officials have to call the game. Of course, that's when injuries happen and when tempers flares, when you don't call the game, regardless of whether this game is out of hand or not. 37-point lead. 36 now. Darlene Moore connects on the first of two. One out of two. And there's your final score. So the game is over between the Lady Crabbers and the Lady Phantoms. Our final score, the Phantoms, an easy victory, 72-36 over the Hampton Crabbers. So, again, Bob, a pleasure to be back with you doing some of the basketball games.
I'm really enjoying this. This is something we kind of look forward to. We just was hoping we'd be able to do a couple more than this, but it's nice to get the basketball in the Hampton schools on TV so the fans could see the good job that the coaches are doing and an effort that the girls are putting into their practice times too. So we look forward to doing this when we can, Tim.
So the Lady Phantoms double the score on the Crabbers, 72-36 the final score. For Bob Hintz, Tim Cole saying thanks for watching and good afternoon, everybody.
What do I do with my